Good evening. I'd like to call the Zoning Board of Appeals for Tuesday, May 4th, 2021 to order. Will the city call the roll, please?
Yes, we will. Ms. Defoe?
Here.
Ms. Selesny?
Here.
Mr. Weigum?
Here.
Mr. Rogers?
Here.
Mr. Friedman? Mr. Friedman?
Here.
Madam Chair, you have a quorum to conduct business.
Thank you.
Test Levanway Sign Company.
We hear you, Mr. Keene. Are there any communications from the city, please?
The phone number for public comment is 1-415-655-001. You're going to use the access code 129-789-7261.
Okay, thank you. So we will move into our public hearing. For those of you who haven't joined us, let me briefly explain how we conduct business. The city will call each case by the case number. They will read a brief introduction. We ask you as the appellant to speak up, state your name and address for the record. Then the city will read the findings of fact. We ask you to agree with them or add anything else at that time. Then we will turn it over to public comment if there's anyone on the line who wishes to speak to the case. And then finally, we will turn it over to the board to deliberate, make a decision on that case, and then we will proceed to the next case. So will the city call the first case, please?
Yes. This is for findings of fact for ZBA case 21-06. The appellant, Levanway Sign Company, sign contractor, representing the owner, Ryan Dems, is requesting the following from the board. A variance for additional 619 square foot of area, 400 square foot permitted, 1,019 square foot proposed. Number of wall signs, 2 permitted, 3 proposed, with a 1 wall sign not facing a major thoroughfare. The property is located at the southwest corner of Lasser and Northwestern Highway.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wilkins, can I interrupt you for just a second? I need you to first just introduce the case so that we can get the appellant on the record, please.
As far as introduce the case, I'm not sure what that meant. I thought I did. Findings of fact for ZBA case 2106.
Well, generally we read what's on the agenda introduce the case.
Yes, ma'am. The appellant, Levanway Sign Company, contractor, representing the owner, Lasser Holdings, LLC, is requesting the following from the board: a variance for a wall sign area, number of wall signs, and a wall sign not facing a major thoroughfare. The property is located at the southwest corner of Lasser and Northwestern Highway, 26555 Northwestern Highway, Sidwell parcel number 2421-202-027, zoned ERO, Education, Research, and Office. The appeal is to sections 8.56, subsection 1, Article 8, Chapter 99 of the Southfield City Code, more commonly known as the sign ordinance.
Great, thank you so much. Is the appellant present?
Levanway Sign Company now?
We can. I need you to mute one of your connections because we're getting feedback. Maybe mute your computer, or Bree, if you can mute his computer. Oh, good, perfect. Okay, Mr. Keene, go ahead if you want to introduce yourself and provide your address for the record, and then give us a brief explanation of what you're asking for and why.
My name is Michael Keene. I represent Levanway Sign Company, who's the sign contractor of record for Morelli North America and the applicant in this Zoning Board of Appeals. My address is 22124 Telegraph Road, Southfield, Michigan, 48033.
Thank you. If you could just give us a brief explanation of what you're asking for on this case, please.
Morelli North America is a global tier 1 auto supplier, and they've entered into a contract to occupy the old Federal Mogul building, and as such, they seek to present a committed and preeminent presence as that global Tier 1 auto supplier in Southfield and Southeast Michigan. They're seeking to add some additional wall signs to the north and south elevations of the building that are appropriate and commensurate to the scope and scale of the building and the property.
Okay, thank you so much. Will the city read the findings of fact, please? Oh, Mr. Wilkins, I think you're on mute.
Bad. Not bad. The appellant Levanway Sign Company, sign contractor representing the owner, Ryan Dems, is requesting the following from the board. A variance for additional 690 square foot of area, 400 square foot is permitted, 1,019 square feet are proposed. Number of wall signs, 2 permitted, 3 proposed, with 1 wall sign not facing a major thoroughfare. Property is located at the southwest corner of Lasser and Northwestern Highway at 26555 Northwestern Highway. Sidwell parcel number 2421-202-027, zoned ERO, Education, Research, and Office. This appeal is to sections 8.56, subsection 1, Article 8, Chapter 99 of the Southfield City Code, more commonly known as the sign ordinance. To the north across 696 is zoned OS, is a 3-story office building occupied by ThyssenKrupp and Southfield Transportation Center. To the east across Lasser Road, the property is zoned ERO, Education, Research, and Office. It's a 4-story building managed by Lasser Southfield LLC. To the south is zoned ERO, Educational, Research, and Office, and RM, which is multiple family residential, occupied by Willow Tree Apartments Complex with 2 3-story apartment buildings and 1-story office building occupied by Great Lakes Surgical Center. To the west of the property is zoned ERO, Educational, Research, and Office, is a 6-story office building managed by Rezo Management Company. The subject property is zoned ERO, Education, Research, and Office, and is currently developed with a 169,015 square foot, 4-story office building adjoined by 158,131 square feet, 3-story generator building. The site has 2 entrances and exits along the Lasser Road frontage and 1 entrance and exit along the Northwestern Highway frontage. This is a mature landscape, or there's mature landscape along both frontages. A survey of signage at the site reveals the following signs. There are 3 ground signs, 50 square feet in area for the business identification on the northwest, northeast, and east property lines. There's 2 ground signs that were approved by the Zoning Board of Appeals, case number 8466. There are 11 directional informational signs within the property. The subject property in the zoning district, ERO, Education, Research, and Office, and is allowed 1 wall sign per major thoroughfare frontage, a total of 2 for this site. The total area of such signs shall not exceed 1 square foot per linear foot of building frontage, or 200 square feet, whichever is less. This site would be permitted 400 square feet total wall sign area.
Okay, thank you.
My report.
Does the appellant agree with these facts? Or do you have anything else to add at this time?
No, that is all accurate.
Okay, thank you. Will the city read the recommendation, please?
The staff recommends the 619 additional square feet of area, 1 additional wall sign, and 1 wall sign not facing a major thoroughfare. This recommendation is based on the following. The parcel is large in area, approximately 25 acres. The increase in size of the sign are proportionate to the size of the building and the setbacks to the road. The additional sign not facing a major thoroughfare is only visible once the visitors enter the site. A large portion of the sign area is due to the box that surrounds the lettering. The signs could meet the wall sign allowance if the wall signs were channel letters. The total square foot for just channel letters is about 294 square feet, 400 square feet allowed. The construction of the facade requires a large box for safe attachment.
Okay, thank you very much. Brianna, do we have anybody on the line for public comment on this case?
Hi, Jody. We do have one call, and the phone number starts with 401-378, and I'm going to unmute it now to see if they have comments. Okay, they're unmuted.
Hello, are you here to speak on this case?
Hello, I'm there to speak on a different case for Levanway Signs.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. We'll put you back on mute. So we will close public comment and turn it over to the board. Ms. Selesny?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I thoroughly agree with the findings of the city. This is a massive building with many parts to it, and there were large signs before, and they didn't appear to be large because the property is so large. And I think their request is very reasonable. And I think anything less would be unsafe.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Weigel? You're on mute, Mr. Weigel. There you go.
Am I muted? Am I
Now
okay?
we hear ya. Go ahead.
Okay. No, I agree with the city on this. I think it's very reasonable, and I have no problem with it.
All right, thank you. Mr. Friedman?
I don't have any issues with the sign. I think the sign is actually pretty attractive. The building itself, it looks a little like the facade has seen better days. I wish they could make the entire building out of the sign. If they could, I'd approve that. So again, I think the sign's an improvement, and I'm for it.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Rogers?
Yes, can you hear me right now?
We can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I agree with the findings of fact from the city. The proportions are proper, and the one sign that's on the non-public side and the parking side that no one sees anyways, it's all well done, and it's necessary.
Thank you. I also agree with my colleagues, and I don't have anything additional to add. So I will ask Mr. Friedman if you'll make a motion for us.
Sure. The appellant, Levanway Sign Contractor representing the owner, Lasher Holdings LLC, is requesting the following from the board. A variance for 619 square foot of area, 400 square foot permitted, 1,019 square foot proposed. Variance in the number of wall signs as well, 2 permitted, 3 proposed, with 1 wall sign not facing major thoroughfare. The property is located at the southwest corner of Lasher Northwest Highway at 26555 Northwestern Highway, Sidwell, parcel 24212022027, zoned ERO Education Research and Office. I move that we grant this waiver of the variance for 619 additional square foot of area, and the additional sign for the following reasons. The parcel is very large, and the increase in size of the sign are proportionate to the size of the building, and the additional sign is not facing a major thoroughfare, and the fact that much of the additional square footage is needed to maintain the safety of the sign.
Thank you very much. Can I have a second, please?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Will the city call the roll, please?
Ms. Defoe,
Yes.
Ms. Selesny,
Yes.
Mr. Weigel,
Yes.
Mr. Rogers,
Yes.
Mr. Friedman.
Yes.
Okay, so your request is granted, and you may move forward on your project. Please work with the city to get whatever permits may be required. Will the city call the next case, please?
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
very much on behalf of Morelli North America.
Thank you.
Case number 21-07, the appellant Aver Sign contractor representing the owner Swanson Road Investment LLC is requesting the following from the board. A variance to add one additional product price sign. The property is located at the northwestern corner of Telegraph and Swanson Roads, 26455 Telegraph Road, Sidwell parcel 2420-201-013, zoned B3 general business. This appeal is in section 8.60, subsections 1, subsection A and 2, Article 11, Chapter 99 of the City of Southfield Code, more commonly known as the sign ordinance.
Thank you. Is the appellant here?
Yes, my name is Jennifer. I'm with Aver Sign Company, and representing also the station owners for 26455 Telegraph Road, Southfield, Michigan.
Great, thank you. Could you just briefly explain your request and why to us, please?
Yes, we had applied for permits to change out a couple of already existing non-compliant price signs, and I personally had a phone conversation with Ed Gardella, who has retired recently, um, and he recommended that we, you know, go to variance for an extra sign on the north end of the canopy, an extra price sign on the north end of the canopy, and actually put our price signs on the canopy. And then after much deliberation with the station owner and the jobber that we work for, they agreed on this, and here we are.
Okay, thank you. Will the city read the findings of fact, please?
Findings of fact for ZBA case number 21-07. The appellant Aver Sign Company, sign contractor representing the owner Swanson Road Investment LLC, is requiring the following from the board. A variance to add one additional product price sign. The property is located at the northwest corner of Telegraph and Swanson Roads at 26455 Telegraph Road, Sidwell parcel 2420-201-013, zoned B3 general business. This appeal is to sections 8.60, subsection 1, subsection C, subsection I, Article 11, Chapter 99 of the City of Southfield Code, more commonly known as the sign ordinance. To the north of the property is zone B3, general business, and is occupied by Best Western Hotel. To the east across Telegraph, the property is zone B3, general business, and is occupied by a strip mall with Starbucks and a Big Boy restaurant. To the south, property is zone B3, general business, and developed with a gas station and 7-Eleven convenience store. To the west, the property is zone B3, general business, and developed with a single-story office complex, Estate Planning Institute. The subject property is zoned B3, general business, and is currently developed with a 2,537 square foot Sunoco gas station and convenience store. The site has two entrances and exits along the Telegraph frontage and one entrance exit on the Swanson Road frontage. A survey of signage at the site reveals the following signs. Two wall signs on the canopy, 30 square feet in area for the Sunoco gas station on the north and south elevations. A legal non-conforming double-face illuminated ground support sign in the 100 square foot, 40 feet in height. This sign is non-conforming due to height and area setbacks. The legal non-conforming double-face product price signs near the north and south property lines are 29.5 square feet in area. The gas station is considered a special use in the zoning district B3. General business and is allowed one wall sign per major thoroughfare frontage, including signs placed on a canopy which doesn't exceed 2 square feet per linear foot of building frontage, or 100 square feet, whichever is less. One ground support or garden ground sign, which shall not exceed an area of 50 square feet. One product price sign with a total area of 15 square feet for two product price signs, or 20 square feet for three or more product price signs must be attached to either the ground support or garden ground sign or building or canopy fascia. Concludes my
Okay,
report.
thank you. Does the appellant agree with those facts? And is there anything you would like to add?
Yes, ma'am, I do agree with the fact, and the only other thing that I would like to add is that we would really like to be able to give the station an opportunity to display their prices for the north and southbound Telegraph Road drivers, and we're also trying to clean the site up and refreshen it, make it look better, cleaner. And
Great, thank you.
thank you.
Will the city read the staff recommendation, please?
Yes, ma'am. We recommend to approve the additional product price sign on the canopy fascia, with the following conditions: that the appellant secure all required permits from the City of Southfield Building Department, that no additional alterations or modifications are made to the canopy fascia. The appellant removed the two existing non-conforming price product signs near the north and east, or I'm sorry, the northeast and the southeast property line. This recommendation is based on the following. The new product pricing sign does not change the canopy structurally. The new product pricing signs are more energy efficient, and the new product pricing signs replace non-conforming product pricing signs. This concludes my recommendation.
Thank you. Is there anyone on the public, is there anybody else on the line? Brianna, I think the person that we spoke to said this is not the case there for. So is there anybody else?
Jody, this is Brianna, and there is no one else for public comment.
Okay, thank you. So we will close public comment then and turn it over to the board. Mr. Rogers, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with putting the prices up on the canopy up high. It seems like you would want to drive up and down Telegraph and be able to see that more readily. And if it's more efficient energy-wise, that's good too. And obviously, you don't have to make any changes to the canopy. So I'm in favor of this.
Great, thank you. Mr. Friedman?
I don't have any issues with the sign. I think they look quite a bit better than the old price signs that are out there. I just have a question, I guess, for the city, and what exactly is why exactly is the waiver necessary? I mean, it seems like they're allowed the price signs that they have, and this is replacing those with a smaller amount of signage. What is the waiver? Why is the waiver necessary?
Madam Chair, if I may address the board.
Yes, please.
The additional price sign, product sign on a canopy, I believe is the issue. Not that they can't have it, but it's where they're locating it. I believe it's only one on the canopy. Let me just review this real quick.
Yeah, I think they're putting one on the north side and one on the south side.
Correct.
So it would be two.
Right.
So it would be two
Okay.
on the canopy, which is where the issue is.
Okay. Again, I think it's a good trade, losing the old ones and getting these. So I'm for it.
Okay, great. Thank you. Mr. Weigum?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with this. I guess one of my comments, and the appellant kind of alluded to it, and that's the existing sign, the upright sign, looks old, worn, and shabby, and you're going to put up new signs on the coverage, and it's going to look very attractive. And I would suggest that you reface the existing upright sign, because it is not attractive. But as far as putting this on the fascia, I have no problem.
Okay, thank you. Miss Leslie?
Yes, I agree with everything my colleagues have said. I don't need to reiterate. So my answer is yes.
Great, thank you. And I also agree. I think this is nice, and to make them electronic and more energy efficient is always a good upgrade. So Miss Leslie, will you make a motion for us?
Sure. Regarding case 21-07, the appellant, Aver Sign Company, sign contractor representing the owner, Swanson Road Investments LLC, is requesting one variance to add one additional product price sign to the property located on the northwest corner of Telegraph and Swanson Road at 26455 Telegraph Road, Sidwell parcel 2420201-013, zone B3, general business. I move that we approve this appeal because the appellant, because I want the appellant to secure all required permits from the City of Southfield Building Department, that no additional alterations or modifications are made to the canopy fascia, that the appellant remove the two existing non-conforming price product signs near the northeast and southeast property line, because the new product pricing sign does not change the canopy structurally. The new product pricing signs are more energy efficient, and the new product pricing signs replace non-conforming product pricing signs.
It's a tongue twister there. Thank you. Can I have a second, please?
I'll second.
Thank you. Will the city call the roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Defoe,
Yes.
Ms. Selesny,
Yes.
Mr. Weigum,
Yes.
Mr. Rogers,
Yes.
Mr. Friedman.
Yes.
Okay, your request is granted. The motion is approved. So please continue to work with the city's building department to secure any permits that are necessary.
Will do. Thank you very much, everybody. Have
Thank
a great
you.
safe night.
Have a nice night. Thank you. Will the city call the next case, please?
Yes. Case number 21-08, the appellant Levanaway Sign Company, sign contractor representing the owner, Lasser Southfield LLC, is requesting the following from the board: a variance to add one additional wall sign. The property is located on the southeast corner of Lasser Road, Northwestern Highway at 26400 Lasser Road, Sidwell parcel 2422151-012, zoned ERO, Education, Research, and Office. The appeal is to section 8.56, subsection 1, subsection A, article 8, chapter 99 of the Southfield Code, more commonly known as the sign ordinance.
Okay, thank you. Is the appellant here? I see them, but I don't hear them currently.
You do not know your attendee number. Press pound to continue.
I think we can hear you if you guys want to speak through the computer.
Okay, hello?
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to this.
Are you there? Can you state your name for the record?
Family signs?
Yes, we are getting an echo. Okay, perfect. If you could just state your name and address for the record, please.
It's still muted.
I think they're trying to speak through a phone.
Jody, it's Brianna. I just unmuted the phone and I've muted their computer. So
Okay.
They should be go.
Okay. You guys want to try it one more time? Your name and address for the record, please. No, I'm still not getting anything.
All right, let's do this now. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, Jonathan Rollins from Levanaway Sign Company, 22124 Telegraph Road, Southfield, Michigan.
Great, thank you. If you could explain to us what you're asking for and why, please.
Yes, requesting a sign size variance on behalf of Foster Financial Company. They're the property owner. The fourth floor there is for Arizona College of Nursing, and basically requesting a size variance of 39 square feet because it does exceed 200 square feet at this property.
Okay. I'm sorry, I was just looking at, we have a different name of owner on the Lasser Southfield or Foster Financial. It seems to we have a conflict between the agenda and the paperwork. the city have any insight to that? I just want to make sure we're
Hi,
putting the right
Jody.
information on the record.
It's Brianna. So, yes, they did apply as for the ownership as Foster Financial, but I verified with Oakland County Records that is actually Lasser Southfield LLC.
Okay, so who is Foster Financial and do they have the authority to make this request on behalf of the owner? Just asking.
Foster Financial is they own Lasser Southfield LLC.
Oh,
They're
okay, got it. It's a parent company?
Yes,
Okay, all right, thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, so will the city read the findings of fact, please?
Yes, ma'am. Findings of fact for ZBA case 21-08. The appellant Levanway sign contractor representing the owner, Foster Financial Company, is requesting the following from the board: a variance to add one additional wall sign. The property is located at the southeast corner of Lasser Road and Northwestern Highway at 26400 Lasser Road, Sidwell parcel 24221511012, zoned ERO, Educational Research and Office. This appeal is to section 8.56, subsection 1, subsection A, Article 8, Chapter 99 of the Southfield City Code, more commonly known as the sign ordinance. To the north of the property is zoned OS, Office and Service, occupied by a mobile gas station. To the east of the property is zoned R2, Single Family Residential, and occupied by a church. To the south of the property is zoned ERO, Educational Research and Office, and is developed with a 3-story office building. To the west of the property is zoned ERO, Educational Research and Office, and developed with a 4-story office complex, Morelli World Headquarters. The subject property is zoned ERO, Education Research and Office, and is currently developed with a 121,194 square foot, 4-story office building. The site has 2 entrances and exits along the Lasser Road frontage and Northwestern Highway frontage. There's a mature landscaping along both frontages. A survey of signage at the site reveals the following signs: 2 wall signs, 200 square feet in area, each on the west and east elevations for 2 separate tenants. An illuminated ground sign, 50 square feet in area. The property zoned ERO, Education Research Office, and is allowed. Each development may have only 1 wall sign per major thoroughfare frontage. A total of 400 square feet is allowed. The total of such sign shall not exceed 1 square foot per linear foot of building frontage, or 200 square feet, whichever is less. That concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Does the appellant agree with those facts? And is there anything else you'd like to add at this time?
I agree with those facts. The only additional would be, I believe the frontage on that side of the building is, we got 298 linear feet. And that would be all.
Okay. Let's turn it over to public comment, please. Brianna, you want to unmute the line?
Okay, 401.
Excuse me, you didn't have, the recommendation.
Sorry, I apologize. Can we read the staff recommendation before we go to public comment? Sorry about that.
Yes, ma'am. Staff recommendation is to deny this variance. This recommendation is based on the following: the sign exceeds the 200 square foot allowed. 239.2 square feet is proposed. The building already has 2 wall signs, 200 square feet in area, each on the west and east elevations for 2 separate tenants. If approved, it would set a precedent for other and additional tenants. No practical hardship or difficulty for this variance.
Okay, thank you. Does the appellant wants to add something? Sure.
Yes, I do want to add that, it probably wasn't stated in the paperwork, but the one sign that's up there right now, the Spring Arbor University, says arbor.edu, that one is being removed. So that will be taken down.
Okay, thank you. That certainly changes the facts. Okay, Brianna, let's open to public comment, please.
Jody, it's Brianna. I've unmuted 401378. Hi there. My name is Lily Forty. I'm calling on behalf of Foster Financial. My address is 26400 Lasher Road, Southfield, Michigan. I wanted to let you guys know that we are okay with this sign and that we will also be removing the Spring Arbor sign.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Brianna, is there anybody else on the public comment line?
No, Jody, there's no one else.
Okay, so we will close public comment and turn it over to the board. Let's see, Mr. Wygum? You want to start?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how this changes my mind at all, but it still appears to me, and I agree with the city, that we're piecemealing this thing. And going into it, you have a ground sign in front of the building, which has none of the tenants on it. It has a bank on it. And I guess I just don't understand what you're trying to do. I'm sure that the city will allow maybe a small sign over a doorway or something. There's masses of doorways. Another thing is, it says you've got mature landscaping. Well, on the east side, there's a brick wall. There's no landscaping. It's just parking. And oh, by the way, at the end of this, as you come around, the brick wall has tumbled down and there's just bricks laying there. So to me, there needs to be some work done around this building and consolidating your signs somewhat, but not sticking them up all over on the top. And I would agree with the city on this.
Okay, thank you, Mr. White. Mr. Friedman?
I was inclined to agree with the city, but now understand that they're gonna be taking down that sign. I mean, they would still need a waiver of, if I could ask the city, they would still need a waiver of the additional square footage, right?
That's correct.
So I mean, you know, I might, be inclined to do that, but right now I see that sign up there right now. You know, that their application did not include, that information that they were going to be removing the other sign. So as of right now, I would be inclined to deny this waiver. Or I would perhaps maybe be inclined to accept it with the condition that the sign is removed. The other sign is removed. But again, I think it's there. It doesn't seem to be any in the request any reason why they would need a bigger sign than the ordinance allows. I mean, they have a 200 square foot, 200 square foot signs right here. Why does this one need to be bigger? So again, I just don't feel. I feel they maybe need to make another request that includes the information that better than something just suggesting on this call that at this meeting that the other sign be removed. I'd like to see that on paper.
Madam Chair, may I speak to the board?
Yes.
So, one of the things that would be required is they would have to get a permit. And I have a question for the sign contractor. Who's contracted to remove the sign? And if they would need a permit for that. So I'm just thinking out loud that we would need to have that all documented and know that we have that permit in place before we move forward.
Or that could be a condition of
That could be a condition, correct.
True. So is there one of my questions, and I guess I can just ask it now since we're here on the record, what is the timeline for the removal of the other sign? Was it waiting on to see if this was approved?
Essentially, it's going to be removed prior to this one being installed. So at no point will two signs ever be up on that side of the wall at all. Financial is in the works of doing the contracting to get that removed. I'm not sure at this point whether it would be us or another person, but it will happen prior to the new sign being installed.
Okay, and then would the placement that you provided us of the requested sign still be the same placement?
Yes, as far as I understand, the placement is going to be exactly as proposed.
Okay. Mr. Rogers?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of these large signs that are up there right now. However, they are up there, and if they're going to increase the new sign by 30-something feet, I really don't have a problem with that if they're going to remove the other one. To me, it's a wash. The building's rather long, and I don't think that's going to make a difference. So if they're on condition of them removing the one that's existing on that elevation, I would approve the additional square footage for the new one.
Okay. On the application, I just want to point out that this maybe was just possibly a misunderstanding. On the application, it says appellant seeks only one sign for one thoroughfare with an aggregate total of 350 square feet for Arizona College of Nursing. So I don't know if from the appellant, if that was your intent to explain that there was a replacement, but that's not, clearly that did not communicate it.
Right. I guess we did not know at that time that the sign would be coming down, but then after the application was submitted, we had found out that basically their tenant, the Arizona College of Nursing, was basically taking over that section of the building.
I see.
But, and on the original application, we had said it was an aggregate total of 350 square feet. That was if you put one giant rectangle over the extremities of the entire sign. Later we had found the code where you're allowed 5 regular polygons. So in that addition and calculation of everything, the total comes to the 239.2 square feet, which is where the request for the 39.2 additional square feet comes from.
So I'm sorry, where is the request for the 239? I don't see that in the application.
It should have been on this. There should be a sheet there showing the polygons mapped.
Oh, no, I definitely see that. But in your written request of the appeal, you don't explicitly state you're asking for an extra square footage, right?
It was a request for a sign size variance, but it was not spelled out as the 39.2.
Okay.
Do I need to change that for the record here, or?
I think we're still in discussions, so Miss Lesney.
Yes, I have a few things. This reminds me of the case we went over and over and over on Central Boulevard a few years ago. Is there a main entrance to where this school is going to be? To the appellant?
I'm unaware, but I believe you're able to get into the building on either side, either the west elevation facing Losser, and you can walk in that front entrance, and there's basically an elevator that you could walk around. And there's an opposite door that you can basically exit the building onto the east side of the building. So there's not really a main entrance. There's actually one on each side of the building, east, west, and south. I'm not sure.
So I was wondering if the sign, I would be more comfortable if the sign were near one of the entrances to the building. They're a very large building, there's no question, but quite spread out. If the sign were near one of the entrances that the students would use to come in, I would be more comfortable granting it because, when you're coming usually at night and in the winter and you're coming to school, visibility is an issue. It's not an issue in, April, May, June, and July. But, once daylight saving signs is over, then most everybody is coming and going in the dark. I'm assuming it's gonna be mostly evening classes. But the sign itself, if you're removing Spring Arbor, isn't that much larger. And I'm sure you could cut it down a few feet if we needed to, but it's not that bad. But I understand the problem with, of proliferation, but I believe that this seems to be stuck like in the middle of nowhere. Why is it on that wall as opposed to the other three walls?
Well, it is
I
over,
don't get the rationale behind it.
it is over the east entrance doorway. So it
Uh-huh.
is for one of those doorway entrances, facing the east side of the building, or on the east side of the building. One thing that was brought up previously with one of the people that work at there as well at Arizona College is the fact that a lot of the students who are probably be traveling on Northwestern Highway, which is the side of the building that it is being displayed on, that's the highway that you'll be able to see it on.
It is. It's not really visible from Northwestern. You see the side of it. You see the side of that end of the building, but you don't actually see it because that you're traveling southeast, I guess, at that side.
Yeah, maybe if you were heading northwest, you might be able to see it for some period of time. But again, the address is a Lasser address, so you would know you need to exit on Lasser.
Yeah, but by that time you're coming off the freeway, and I hope you're looking for oncoming traffic at that point and not at wall signs. I'm a little concerned about where you've chosen to put the sign. I'm not so upset about the sign being that we're removing the other school sign, but I don't understand your rationale for putting where it's going, unless there's a main entrance for the school. That you also have the monument in the front that is pretty much empty. They could put information on that, their name on that sign as well. So, so do you have any answer for my questions?
We haven't been told, if there is a complete main entrance to this school, because, I guess a direct answer to that would be the main entrance would be when you enter the elevator and you exit out on the 4th floor. That is the main entrance, because they have the entire top 4th floor. So if you want the actual building entrance, it could be any one of those three entryways to the building, because it is a multi-tenant building with multiple entry points. The actual sign contractor that's fabricating the sign is Southwater Signs. So they're going to fabricate it, and we are the sign contractor that's installing it here. So we have just been given the information that this is where that sign contractor has talked to Arizona College of Nursing and ownership there at Arizona College, where they have decided to place it.
Yeah, I don't remember there being an entrance to the building at that spot. Is there? I thought it were two over to the side.
Yeah, I think it's like to the south from the Spring Arbor sign. Or if you're looking at the picture to the left of the Spring Arbor sign is where the entrance is.
It says the sign is on the east elevation.
Right, if you're looking at the east elevation, I mean, it looks like the sign placement was selected because their original intent was to keep the spring arbor sign up.
Well, if if the sign were placed closer to a doorway on either of any of the elevations with main entrances, I would think that that makes more sense. To just stick it up on the wall, I can't see any reason to do that. They could put it on the monument and not require any waivers. But if they feel that they need to have more visibility, then I think it needs to be near a doorway. So someone driving around who's never been there sees that and it's over a door, they'll park and they'll go to that door.
Have you seen the last page of, I guess, the submission where it shows, essentially there is that, one of those entryways right underneath the main shield of this logo.
Okay, let me take a look. I mean, I went over and took a look at the property and I was just, didn't get the feel.
Brianna, do you have that image you can flip to for us, or no?
I do not.
Okay.
This one?
I
No.
see that there's an
He's,
entrance.
Myra, if you look at your screen, he's trying to show us. Can you see his little box?
Yeah, I see that page. This is the
But he showed
final
there's
page
a
here.
canopy under like the A, basically.
Yeah.
Right
So
there.
For an entrance.
what if they are going to be removing the other school sign, why can't this one be centered more over the entrance?
I don't see the reason why it couldn't be. I know if that's a condition of it, I believe we could be agreeable.
I'm wondering what my colleagues think of that compromise.
My problem with this is that we're hearing things for the first time. I went around that building and I looked at this whole area, and my feeling is, and I agree with you, Ms. Selesny, it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, you should have it near the doorway. My feeling is that go back to the drawing boards, and you need to work with a sign company. You need to work with your overall employer and get your facts straight. Decide what you want to do, and then come back before our board. We will consider it dutifully, but to say, well, we might do this, and yeah, we'll take that down, but we haven't applied for a permit yet. To me, you have work to do before you come to us.
Yeah, but I think we can, everything that he's stated, we can put as a condition of the case, and the city won't issue the permit without all of those conditions being met. That's my opinion. And I also don't know that we actually identify where a sign's required to be. We approve it in a location, like on a side, right? Do we, I mean.
Yeah, I think Mr. Leslie.
I think it depends, Jody, on this particular situation. Every case has its own set of facts, and I believe that sometimes we do say exactly where it has to. Most of the time, when we receive the findings, it tells
it's drawn to exactly. Right.
And this particular one, I'm not so happy with it personally, but I want to know what other people feel.
I personally would feel that I would approve it with the additional square footage. I think while Mr. Lesney is probably 100% correct, and probably seen more signs than any of us. Certainly me. I've only been on the board for a short time, but she might be exactly correct as what the best place to put the sign is. But if they want to go with some other thing that's not as not as ideal for some whatever reason, if they think it's better for Northwestern Highway or whatever it is, I think what's in front of us is a variance of 30, what is it, 39 feet? And I'd be inclined to approve it as with the condition that they remove that other sign. I don't, again, even though their sign where it's located is not ideal, that's not really for us to decide, I don't think.
Yeah, so really the only thing they're here asking for is a variance of, 39.2 square feet. They're not even asking for an additional wall sign.
Yeah.
And that's where I think Mr. Wygam's frustrated because the findings of fact are not accurate. So what the request is not accurate because you're not asking for an additional wall sign. You are simply asking for a extra square footage on the condition that you remove the sign that's currently on the building.
Yeah. I said,
So
we can certainly make that part of the conditions.
Yeah, so I mean, I would support denying the request that we have in front of us, but then entertaining a motion to approve a variance of the square footage request with the condition of removing the other sign. So, Mr. Rogers, any thoughts?
Do I have any thoughts?
Any additional thoughts?
You guys have a lot of thoughts. No, I mean, the bottom line is I don't have a problem with the extra square footage of the new sign, but we do need to remove the old sign as a condition. So however we want to word it at this meeting so we can, they'll apply for the proper permits. They're not going to be able to do anything until the building department approves it. So I'm not worried about that. We should just approve what we believe is what we're approving, which in this case is the extra square footage for the new sign on condition of the old sign, the 200 square foot sign being removed. So
Madam
that's
Chair,
where I'm.
may I address the board?
Yes, sir.
So I'm reading the legal notice and the findings of fact, and it says the variance to add one additional wall sign, in the error is that we didn't ask for the additional 39 square feet. And you're talking about it's just the 39 square feet is all we're approving. The legal notice and the findings of fact were to approve a second sign, an additional wall sign.
Right, because I think it was not clearly communicated in the request, or the communications that occurred between the city and the sign company was not clear. So, I mean, I don't know if anybody has, I mean, legal notices are important. This property was posted. I think what we would be approving is much less than what was in the legal notice. So I'm a little less concerned that the legal notice didn't include the square footage, because if somebody had an interest, they would have appeared. Oh, Mr. Friedman, I think you're on mute. One more time.
I agree. I think the legal notice, if taken, was for an additional sign that would be 239 square foot, so a total of 439 square foot of signage on that side, where we're now we're actually only approving 39 more rather than 239 more. So I think it's almost like this request is included is included in that legal notice. If we just approve 39 square feet more of signage, they asked for an additional sign with 239 square feet of signage. So I just think I understand it could be an issue, but it'd be quite a stretch for somebody to say that legal notice was invalid.
Well, maybe we should say that we're approving 239 square feet, condition on that they remove the other sign completely. So that doesn't make so many variations, because I don't know exactly how much that other sign is. So I can't say, oh, only a 39 more, because I have no idea how much that other sign,
Which sign do you mean? The Spring Arbor sign?
the Spring Arbor,
The
yes.
Spring Arbor sign is identified in the findings of fact that it's 200 square feet.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I wasn't suggesting changing anything that we were talking about doing. I'm just saying if somebody were to in the future perhaps challenge the legal notice as insufficient, that it'd be quite a stretch. So,
I think you're right. We can probably work around this, and it will be satisfactory. We've done this before,
We have.
where we offer something totally different, a compromise of some sort other than the legal notice, as long as it's not more.
So would we say that we would grant an additional 30, I mean, why don't we just say 40? Why don't we just say 40 square feet of area and
Up to 40
deny,
square feet.
yeah, an additional 40 square feet of sign area and deny the request for an additional wall sign. And one of the conditions is that this additional square footage is only granted upon the permitting and removal of the Spring Arbor University sign.
Let me ask you this question. Is it also possible for them, going along with Myra, for them to put a small sign over their awning on the entranceway? Can they do that as more like a directional sign or something for these students that come in? To me, I mean, you've got entrances all over there, and he says, well, they can use this or they can use that. I think
I think the point is they have to come in and go up the elevator. So they can come in any entrance. They have to get to the elevator and go up to the 4th floor.
Well, it would be nice. I mean, would be nice to have a little sign or something there over the awning, which says, this is where the students enter, whatever, the Spring Arbor.
I mean, it seems
when I made that suggestion, I didn't know that they could reach it from any of the entrances.
Yeah, the awnings seem to say the direction that they're at. Is that what I'm reading? South, east, and then the address.
Yeah. So I think that because they can reach it from any entrance of the building, then it doesn't serve a purpose anymore. I thought it was more like some of the other situations where you had to come in one particular entranceway if you were going to find your classroom. Doesn't seem like this case is the same. Although I still would love to see the sign centered more towards an entrance, but it doesn't seem like there's much support for that idea. And I also wonder what people would think if this sign were to go in the same place that the Spring Arbor is in, instead of on the end of the building, kind of hanging off by itself. I don't know.
The only thing I thought about the end of the building is if you look at the west elevation image, the Michigan Evaluation Group is also set to the end. And to that extent, it makes it a little
balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like visual balance. I mean, even though they're on two different ends, obviously it's east side versus the west side of the building.
Right.
But I mean, I actually don't think when you looked at the west image, I don't think it looks bad. Set off just one sign set off to the end.
Okay, then I would go along with having the one sign where they intend to install it, provide the other one is removed, the Spring Arbor is totally removed, and nothing in its place. I think we should specify that. Otherwise, I think we're going to be coming back for another sign.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so, I mean, I think what we need is a motion for, an additional 39.2 square feet of sign area. A deny of the request for an additional wall sign. And this is conditioned upon, the proper permitting and removal of the Spring Arbor University sign with nothing to be put in its place.
with no signs to be added.
Madam Chair, if I may address the board.
Okay, I'm sorry, I think I froze.
Madam Chair, may I address the board?
Sure.
Would it make more sense to make one motion to deny what's on the table tonight for a variance to add one additional wall sign, deny that, and then have another motion for what they're proposing and removing the existing sign and all of that?
I mean, we often do it all, wrap it all into one motion and haven't done
Yeah,
separate.
we usually do.
But
Okay.
no. So is there, just support for the motion that I guess I made, or will somebody make the motion that I made?
I support what you've said.
Yeah.
Would you repeat it exactly as you said?
Yes, I make a motion.
You can't say ditto.
Yeah, right. I make a motion to approve 39.2 square feet of sign area on the east elevation, and to deny the request for an additional wall sign, and the condition being that the current Spring Arbor University sign is removed with the proper permit. And the second condition is that no other sign is placed on this east elevation in its place.
Okay. Now somebody has to actually make a motion.
Or you can say so moved.
So moved.
All right, can I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, will the city call the roll call, please?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Defoe,
Yes.
Ms. Selesny,
Yes.
Mr. Weigum,
Aye.
Mr. Rogers.
Yes.
Okay, so you're,
Friedman.
Yes.
all right, thank you. So the motion is approved. I think the project that you want is approved, even though it took us a minute to get there.
Right.
Just, again, make sure you continue to work with the city to get the permits, to get the one sign down and the new sign up. And again, just really try to make sure in future requests that you're really clear, because it's more difficult for us to work through it on the fly than if we can work through it in advance. So, okay.
Understood. We apologize for the muddiness of the information. Some of it came to light after we had submitted the application, but we appreciate you working with us and achieving this outcome for the client.
Thank you. Have a nice night.
Thank you as well. Thank you.
Okay, so 1 second, let me find my agenda. Okay, so next up is minutes for the February 16th meeting, where apparently my computer was either freezing or I was speaking very unclearly, because I have lots of edits to my lines. Starting with literally line number 1 on page 2. It should say, good evening. I would like to call the Zoning Board of Appeals to order. So it's missing the I would like to. And then further down on the page, line 21, usually I say we will now move on to the public hearing. So I think that's missing as well.
Before that, line number 9, when you said Mr. Wygum and Mr. Rogers, I certainly answered here. And I'm sure Mr. Rogers did also.
Yep, I think we were having some sound issues for sure. Then I have next on page 8, line 11 has what is it? Will the city read the recommendation, please? It's just, it couldn't understand me. Page.
Also on that same
Yep.
page, line 11.
Which page?
The same page 8?
Page 8. Yep, that's the one I was speaking to. Line 11.
Oh, okay.
Will the city read the recommendation, please? And then the next one I have is page 13. Again, there's a where they couldn't understand me. I'm sure I was able to and move forward with your project. That's usually what I appear to say. Next I have on page 31, line 9. Again, where it couldn't understand me, it would have said tenant, as to why Meyer would not have received notice, because that is a tenant, I would assume, of Ramco.
Yeah, probably.
I think you said unintelligible.
That's probably what I said. You're right. Page 32.
Oh, wait, Jody, I think we went past page 29.
Okay.
Did you notice anything on 29?
Let's
On
see.
the first line, it continues from line 25 of the previous page. Mrs. Mullally said, "If I might through the chair to the chair." So I think that must be a mistake. Must be to the board.
Yeah.
Through
Yeah.
the chair to the board. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's correct. Isn't that? Yeah.
Okay. And your next one?
I'm on page 32, line 13 and 14. I think I said, and Sarah, does a basement to a commercial building require a variance of any sort? And then I think we have a problem, because from between line 16 to line 18, I think there's at least a gap of your speech, Miss Lesney, because it seems to cut off Miss Mullally. So that's all something and it falls off. And then I say, Miss Selesny, your question is in regards to their easement need, but you're not speaking there.
Yeah. I remember questioning the parking spaces because I didn't count 13 parking space. I mean, I didn't count the required number of parking spaces. I only counted 13, but I don't remember exactly what. But I don't think that really makes any difference in the proceedings.
Yeah, I think the content is there because we keep talking about it. You're right.
Yeah. And then I think there was something else, but I'm not finding it right now.
That's the last one I marked. Anybody else? And I noticed
I got one.
My computer froze, so sadly we'll probably have this again.
Hi, Jody. It's Brianna. So I don't think it was your computer that was the problem. This was the meeting that cable wasn't available to record. So it was the court reporter was going off of my own recording, so she didn't have the video to compare it to, and that's what helps them to do it. So it was just the audio, and this computer audio is not the best.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, Mr. Wygum, you had another one?
Yeah, on page 42. Hello? On
Yeah,
page
go ahead.
42,
Yeah.
where it's at line 7.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say that. Ed did, I'm sure.
Yep, you're probably right. Yeah, so that should be Mr. Gardella on line 7. Okay. Anything else? So that's a lot of changes. Do we make a motion to accept with all those changes, or do we want another round? I mean, they're not, I don't think they're anything extreme, but there's a lot of them.
Yeah, I don't think that they changed the meaning of any of the motions that were made or any of the decisions that were made, but there are a lot, as you say, a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
We can approve it on maybe provided the changes are corrected.
Okay, and I'll review them.
Mistakes are
How about
corrected.
that? Yeah, I'll commit to reviewing them before I sign them.
Okay.
Okay, so can I have a motion
I
to
make a
approve?
motion that we approve the minutes provided that the mistakes that were mentioned tonight are corrected.
Okay,
I second.
thank you. Will the city call the roll on these, please?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Defoe,
Yes.
Ms. Selesny,
Yes.
Mr. Wygum,
Yes.
Mr. Rogers,
Yes.
Mr. Friedman.
Despite not being there, yes.
Thank you. All right, so the minutes are approved. And now we have a discussion of a very long meeting coming up in early June. Potentially, I guess. So who wants to speak to, or is there anything we need to know about the cases that are on for the June 1st meeting?
Hi, Jody. It's Brianna. So yes, this is a long meeting due to all the April 6th cases being tabled to today, and people are lining up. So the requester, two residential and 3 commercial. And then, so that would be, those are the cases for June 1st. In the meantime, we've had someone request a special meeting for May 25th. And you're going to be getting the WebEx request at the same time. So tomorrow I'm sending out the web request. No, May 25th went out already. Tomorrow is going to be June 1st. So get ready to listen to some cases.
Okay. All right.
When you say they went out, what do you mean? You mailed them?
The email of the invitation.
So the one for May 25th I emailed on Friday, which was April 30th, and then tomorrow I'm trying to wait, the latest I can to either Wednesday or Thursday to send out the meeting request for June 1st. That way the meeting requests aren't back to back for everyone. Hopefully that helps with keeping them separate.
But you will send the package or deliver the packages, right?
Oh yeah, of course. The May 25th packages will be delivered on May 21st, so the Friday before, and then June 1st will be mailed the following Friday, which is May 28th.
Not mailed, delivered, right?
Delivered, yes. Okay. Personal delivery.
Appreciate it. Okay.
Do we get overtime?
Is everybody available for June 1st? It is the Tuesday after Memorial Day, so I think it's important to recognize that.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I will be out of town until then, so I'm gonna not have a lot of chance to review it. If there was a way I could get the information in those cases as early as possible, Um, I'm going to be leaving that Thursday and not coming back until Tuesday. So,
Okay, I just made a note on my calendar to deliver yours on Thursday.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
You might do that to me also.
Would everyone like their packet delivered on Thursday, the 27th?
That'd be fine.
Okay.
Okay,
That works for me in case I go
Oh.
on vacation.
Okay, and then the next item is a new format for findings of fact. I think there's a sample in our packet. So who's going to speak to that?
Madam Chair, if I may address the board.
Sure.
I was the one who created that. The old format is very difficult for me to work with. It's from 97, Word 97. And I just created a new one with current software. It follows pretty much the same format as what you had. It's just a lot easier to work with. If there's any objections to what I've proposed, please let me know and I'll continue to use the old format.
Okay. I mean, I don't have any concerns or issues. I think one thing, and I think we had sometimes talked to Ed about this, is if there is a recommendation to deny, if you want to include some additional information for the board that wouldn't be, read into the record that explains, circumstances, sometimes that's helpful to us.
Okay.
And I mean, I think all the facts on that one were present, but a lot of times it's not. It's that information isn't provided, or it wasn't provided timely, or whatever. So
Okay.
sometimes that is gives us a little bit more insight to the thought.
Thank you for the information, but I still want to remind everyone that I'm relatively new to this assignment. Ed walked out the door and handed it to me and said, "Here, this is yours." I went, "What? Excuse me, I'm sorry. What?" So there is a learning curve here, and I can't wait till the day that we can all meet face to face and do actual real meetings.
Yeah.
And we can have those kinds of discussions off the record, and we can hopefully everyone will be up to speed.
Sure. No, I think it's been going great. I think it's been just fine. So I think you're doing a great job, and we appreciate it. And despite the format and setting, I think we're doing great.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Wayne, I'm
The
trying
only
to
thing
figure
that I
out.
can think of, it doesn't have a date on the findings of fact. Don't we always have a ZBA date, meeting date or something on the findings of fact?
Yes, we do. Well, actually, we don't. I mean, the findings of fact that I've been using on the old format, just says findings of fact for ZBA case number, whatever it is.
Yeah, okay. I guess it's the agenda that has the date. Okay,
Yes, it's the agenda that
That's
has
fine.
the date. That's correct.
okay, that's fine.
Wayne, what basically is the change? I'm trying to look for major changes. I don't
There
see
are
much
none. It's
change.
just newer software. I don't have to spend 20 minutes trying to figure out how to get an indent to line up with my new text. It's very frustrating. I'm pretty computer literate, but this format from 97 baffles me. And I just thought, well, I'm just going to go ahead and start a new format with current software. And Ed advised me that you better run that by the board first. So that was why it's on the agenda tonight.
Yeah, I think the biggest change is the font, and
Yes.
and just the tightness of it. So I mean, if there's a request to have the font size increased, Les, would that be helpful?
Yes.
I thought it might be.
I'm with you, Les. I'm nowhere without these, so I'm all for it.
Yeah, so I think
This
maybe
is what I brought.
I think you can probably bump up the font size
I
one
can
or
do
2
that.
points.
Yep.
Would appreciate that.
Yeah, because I don't think we mind it going, to 2 pages. And I know this is just a sample, but I think, it's just, if we can make the font a little bigger, it might be helpful.
Okay.
Yeah, but other than that, I think it's fine.
Well, we'll see how it
So
goes.
do I.
And if there's any, any suggestions on making it better, more efficient, let's,
No,
we're
it
open to
uses
all
the
of that.
margins better, spreads it out, gets more information. So no, I think it's good. It's
Put
good.
flowers on it and stuff.
Well, if that's what the board wants, I can accommodate that.
All right.
I'm
Any
pretty sure-
other miscellaneous?
Les, I'm pretty sure everyone is gonna have to vote on that.
All right. Anybody else have any other miscellaneous business? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a move that we adjourn this virtual session.
Thank you.
Second.
All right. All those in favor? Aye.
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 All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good
Good
night.
night.